For this type of problem, in this section, we did learn some new ways in section 1.6, but for section 1.2, we started out with a chart, and we would plug in values for x to see what f of x was at those values. Now, this one's going to be a straight line because it's 3 times x, but if we had x squared or some other function, we might want to put in a few more points than we are going to do right now. I'm just going to pick 3 points. And I like to pick a positive one and negative one and throw 0 in there. So if I plug negative 1 in for x, I get negative 3, because 3 times negative 1 is negative 3. 3 times 0, when I plug 0 in for x, gives me 0. And 3 times 1, when I plug in 1 for x, gives me 3. So I have 3 points there. So at 0, 0, I'll go ahead and plot that one since it's there. Negative 1, negative 3 will be here. And positive 1, positive 3 will be here. So now you can see that all 3 lines do fall into, all 3 points fall into a straight line there. Now, if I want to graph g of x, I'm going to go ahead and put another column in here. And I'm going to plug these same x values in to g of x that I plugged in for f of x, because it starts exactly the same way. We have 3 times our x, which is negative 1, so that gives us negative 3, but then we subtract 3 from it, so we get negative 6. So it starts out the same way as f of x, but then we subtract 3 from that. So at 0, 3 times 0 is 0 again, and then we subtract 3 from that, so we'll get negative 3 for our g of x there. Then we have 1, and when we plug that in for x, 3 times 1 again is 3, but then we subtract 3 from that, which gives us 0. So now we've got these 3 points to plot and graph. So at negative 1, we are at negative 6. So that's down here. At 0, we're down to negative 3, which is here. And at 1, we are at 0. So that should fall right on our x-axis. And so here is our line. Well, I didn't quite catch all my points with that line. But you can see, and you can tell by the way that we found our y coordinates for g of x, they were exactly the same as f of x, except that we subtracted 3. And where that put it on the graph is 3 spaces down, because your y always gives you a value that you plot vertically. So g is the graph of f, shifted 3 spaces down in this case. And all of these type of problems will work that way. You graph the first one, you graph the second one, and you see how it shifts it. I hope this helps.